Well, if you haven't caught my Jeff Hardy video, WWE former wrestler Jeff Hardy, who's now in AEW, was arrested for DUI in Florida, where he was arrested. We had discussed this. We were also talking about Tammy Stitch, that her bail has been revoked, and now she is in jail awaiting her trial. And we said in that last video that there are a lot of problems, and a lot of it's occurring at the WWE. And I said that there is another issue that's coming forward, and a major corporate investigation that is going on. From ESPN.com, Vince McMahon steps aside as the WWE chairman, CEO, during an investigation into an alleged hush money payment. Vince McMahon is stepping aside from his role as CEO and chairman of the World Wrestling Entertainment during an investigation into a report that he agreed to pay hush money to a former employee over an alleged affair, the company announced Friday. The WWE said in a release that the special committee of the board is conducting an investigation into alleged misconduct by its chairman and CEO, Vince McMahon, and John Laurinaitis, head of talent relations. And that effectively immediately McMahon has voluntarily to step back from his responsibilities as CEO and chairman of the board until the conclusion of the investigation. McMahon is cooperating with the inquiry, the WWE said, and will retain his role and responsibility relating to WWE's creative content during this period. He is also scheduled to appear, he appeared on last Friday's Smackdown, the WWE announced. I have pledged my complete cooperation to the investigation by the special committee, and I will do everything possible to support the investigation. I've also pledged to accept the findings and the outcomes of the investigation, whatever they are, McMahon said in a statement. McMahon's daughter, Stephanie, will serve as interim CEO and chairwoman, even though let me stop for a moment on there. She was stepping away for a while for some unknown reason, and now she has to come back into the fold. She had announced last month that she was taking a leave of absence from most of her responsibilities at the organization. She had been serving as the company's chief brand officer. Friday's move allows the Wall Street Journal report Wednesday that McMahon agreed to a secret $3 million settlement with a former employee who was hired as a paralegal in 2019. The separation agreement, which was signed in January, is meant to prevent the woman from discussing her relationship with McMahon or making disparaging comments about him. According to the Journal, the report, citing documents and the accounts of people familiar with the inquiry, said the investigation began in April and has uncovered other non-disclosure agreements over the years involving misconduct claims from former employees against McMahon and Laurinaitis. In its release, WWE said no further comment was expected until the investigation was complete. The company did not specify the allegations against McMahon. WWE also said the company and its special committee would work with an independent third party to perform comprehensive review of its compliance program, HR function, and overall culture. McMahon brought the then World Wrestling Federation from his father, Vincent J. McMahon, in '82, and built the company into a global wrestling powerhouse and media conglomerate that has produced crossover stars as Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and John Cena. WWE is a publicly traded company, but McMahon still holds the majority shareholders' voting power. Now, I said there's been a lot of complications over at the WWE. You can take it from the Dark Side of the Ring, the Vice series, on a lot of the issues. Like, one has cropped up, which basically we know that Ric Flair was released from the WWE, part reason to the situation on that flight from hell, as they call it, where there was some instances people were drunk, certain women were exposed or abused or sexually abused or attacked on this flight, supposedly. There's a lot of questions on this flight, and basically what what has come forward is still not enough to see the light of day in a court as of yet. Will it ever see a light of court? Who knows? Who knows in this day of age with the Me Too movement and everything of that nature. And there have been many other situations from behind the scenes at the WWE, especially with upper management, talent management. There've been, issues that, that basically most of it's been sexual allegations. The main big one back years ago was the steroids investigation. And you know how far that went to the nature. And then you've heard the many stories, going all the way back, the many drug deaths, mysterious deaths, accidental deaths, DUIs, overdoses, the DUI manslaughter charge, Tammy Stitch, what she's going through right now. Jeff Hardy just arrested just recently for DUI. I mean, the cops showed up with guns drawn. If you saw the last video, you saw that little piece where the cops came in guns drawn because Jeff was going all over the place and he wouldn't stop. I've said that the WWE is headed on a downfall. And, there is new management in the background. And I think that they're trying to shuffle everything around for a full takeover of the company. But you have to remember this, the McMahon family is still there. The only one, Shane is no longer really involved as much as he used to be. But Stephanie's still there. And I assume Linda McMahon is still around somewhat, because she's no longer in the White House. And it's going to be harder to get them out of the fold. They'll have to take a payment to get out of the fold on there. But there's going to be a lot of issues with this company. There's going to be, before any, as they say, balance to the company itself. If anything, I think that the WWE is on its way out, honestly. The attendance are not like it used to be. The hype is not like it used to be. The shows are not like they used to be. Like when I used to remember from the 90s. One great thing was the 70s to 90s was a great time for wrestling. I grew up with this. And I'm going to say it again. I watched on the weekends. And here's one thing, because I said I used to watch anime on the weekends in the 70s on WJNU channel 47. But after the end of that, I switched over to WWOR channel 9, and I used to get Saturday Night Wrestling live from Madison Square Garden with either Vince McMahon or God rest his soul, Gorilla Monsoon. And used to get wrestling matches for an hour. And that's when they used to have like the last match of the night. The time limit is TV time, which means when the show is about to go off the air, that would be the end of the match itself. They'll ring the bell, and that'll be the end of the match. And then after that, they used to have like a creature feature after that. So I used to get a horror film. So it was like Saturday anime, then wrestling, and then a horror film at the end of the night. I say that was the good days. And then, and then as we got to the 80s, I had Doctor Who in the afternoon. In fact, during the weekend, my Samsung TV Plus, they call it TV Plus, which is the channel on there, basically runs Doctor Who on there, and I got Tom Baker running. I had Robot, which is like the very first episode on there. But I'm skipping away from everything on there. Let's get back to the WWE. So basically, this investigation is going on. Who knows where it's going to lead to, because the way it's sounding, this is not the only payout. I mean, $3 million payout to one person. If they're investigating just for $3 million, I would say it'd be a quick thing. But if they're going deep into an investigation, there's got to be a lot more money being used, corporate money being used as hush-hush money. So we'll continue to monitor this and monitor the other two stories, the Jeff Hardy and the Tammy Stitch bit. story as well, the trial on Tammy Stitch, when that comes through, and what's going to happen with Jeff Hardy to that situation itself. Subscribe, like, share. We will see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you also for all of your subscribers that got us to the 500, to that 500 subscriber level. Let's get to 600, and maybe let's get to 1,000 before the end of the year. Let's push for that. Let's push for that right now. So thank you again. Thank you for on there. Do comment, and have a good week and good evening. Bye-bye.